This was the second day of questioning for Judge Sotomayor by the senators, the 19 members of this Judiciary Committee. She appeared much more relaxed than yesterday. She had a good day yesterday, I think, and I think she had a good day today as well. The wise Latina comment where she said that a wise Latina judge would probably make a better decision than a white male judge, that continues to stick in the craw of the Republican senators, and they kept pressing her on it, but she wouldn't. She did apologize. She said her words fell flat, that her words failed her, but she didn't seem flustered. She didn't seem upset by the continued persistence of the Republican senators, and she was willing to, on other statements, explain away or modify, downplay what she had said. In other words, she just wasn't about to be rattled by the questioning. This clearly frustrated the Republican senators on the committee. They were huddling off to the side throughout the morning. They weren't quite sure, I think, how to approach the questioning from that point on. She just was so resistant. Senator Cornyn, during a break, told reporters he thought that she had been completely unforthcoming and unhelpful in her responses. And he said, you know, on issues, she's coming across as a fairly traditional, moderate judge. But if she becomes the justice that is reflected in her speeches rather than in her decisions, then it's going to be a problem for Republicans. There was one kind of interesting exchange with Senator Coburn from Oklahoma, who kept wanting Judge Sotomayor to answer a question as a person, not as a judge. He was asking her whether individuals have a right of self-defense in their homes. And she kept referring to laws of different states and judicial decisions, and he kept saying, no, I want to hear your answer as a person, and she just wouldn't budge. And Senator Coburn and other senators on the question of abortion tried to draw out her views. She hasn't really ruled on the issue very much as an appeals court judge, but clearly this is still a hot button issue, and they wanted to get her to say something about her views, and again she just resisted. We also saw some discussion of business law, which is of interest to the legal community and was of particular interest to Senator Kaufman from Delaware, where there are an awful lot of corporations are based. And he voiced some criticism of the Supreme Court on business law. He said the court is not sensitive enough to the business community's need for stability. It will sometimes reverse doctrines of long-standing. He mentioned a major antitrust case, the Legion case, and he urged Sotomayor to pledge to heed the will of Congress and not to upset the apple cart on business law every other day. And she agreed that predictability and stability in the law is incredibly important for businesses so that they can arrange their affairs and know that things aren't going to change. The law isn't going to change frequently. She also said that she would be deferential to Congress. She said Congress sets the policy on business law and on regulation, or the regulatory scheme that governs securities and other businesses. So I think she satisfied the business community in that regard. She also, related to this, she talked a little bit about her own personal career before becoming a judge. She spent 4 years as a lawyer for a small law firm in New York, Pavia and Harcourt. And she was asked why she did that, and she said after being in the New York City District Attorney's Office, she didn't want to be the fifth guy on the totem pole in some big law firm, so she decided on a small firm, and she really enjoyed it. She said this is a firm that was a civil law firm, basically involved in issues ranging from intellectual property to commodity trading issues. She said one of her clients sold orange peels for livestock feed. So she, I think, was kind of fleshing out her personal story and her background in the law, which I think will help in terms of not portraying her as strictly a one subject or a liberal, a narrow-minded judge. She's handled a lot of different aspects of the law.